When did you fall in love with comic books?
Um, it was when I guess I was like 11 years old. I was in the fifth grade.
Mm.
Started reading comic books and had a couple of classmates who had older brothers, and so their brothers taught them like the ins and outs of comic collecting, and so they kind of passed that knowledge on to me. So, like for example, like I didn't have access to a comic shop, but one of the kids I knew in my class, I'd just give him some money and then he would buy comic books for me. And so I would collect comics that way. And I had to hide it from my parents because my parents are like they're old school West Indian. I'm from Haiti and my parents are Haitian. And,
Okay,
like
that's the
having comic.
devil.
What's that?
That's the devil.
Yeah, yeah. Not even
Everything
just
is
that. They just
bad,
thought,
or yeah, if it's not church or it just
yeah, yeah.
or
So
school.
and if they just especially my dad, he thought just comics were just like made you stupid, So he was like, I was like building a little comic book collection, stashing it away where my parents can't see and or find them. And I loved it so much that I started drawing my own comics and I would sell them to classmates. And I remember specifically there was this one classmate I had. His mom saw one of the comic books that he had bought for me, and his mom gave him money to buy more of my comics. And he was like, yeah, my mom said keep up the good work. And so
Wow.
that was that right there showed me like and when an adult like pays attention to a child and tells them like keep up the good work
Just
and
to be seen, you know?
yeah, exactly.
And
Just
that one little gesture went so far. Wow.
exactly, yeah. And meanwhile, this is no disrespect to my parents, of course, but meanwhile, I'm hiding this from my parents. You know, not really. I don't think I would really get that kind of support. Like I
Yeah.
said, no disrespect to my parents.
No,
I
that's just how they
understand.
were raised. But one is
Yeah,
scolding you and one is putting you on a pedestal. So it's showing you
yeah,
the dichotomy of, the
yeah,
effect it
yeah.
has on
Exactly.
you.
So, yeah, so I started drawing and writing comic books, and I was like, yo, this is it was something that I really love doing. But at the same time, I was also into computer programming at that time. So, as time went on, it was easier to go to the route of computer programming because you could see the path. The path was
Yes.
already laid out for me there. It was like it was a no brainer, and plus, that's something that my parents could understand. Like
Yes, there was no
so,
translation to I want to make comic books. There was no infrastructure set up, like you said, to show a pathway to, being able to earn money. That's all they cared about from the old school. Can you pay your bills and take care of yourself
yeah, yeah,
and
and
get out of here?
and as a parent myself, I understand that.
Definitely.
I've got two girls, and one of them is graduating college right now. So I understand where that mindset's come from. But yeah, so like I said, I took the pathway of I became a computer programmer. But when I was in high school, when I was in college, I took creative writing courses whenever I could, and I'd write little stories here and there sometimes. Nothing really solid. My brothers and we had this thing where we would pitch each other ideas, and this is as is going on. We're growing up into adulthood, but we still would be pitching ideas to each other. He's like, "Yo, I got this idea. Check it out," and we start telling each other ideas, and so like it wasn't just me. It was also my brothers were pretty similar. They're artists and they used to draw comic books
Oh,
too. So it was like
where
all
were
three
you
of.
raised? In case the people don't know, what
Oh,
city
so
were you raised?
yeah, I was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and I was
Okay.
raised in East Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Okay, that's
So
where I'm
yeah,
from. So
yeah,
Flatbush, big up, Brooklyn in the
yeah,
building.
yeah. So yeah, I came here when I was young. I was 5 years old. So
Okay.
Brooklyn was
Just like me, you got the same story. I'm from Guyana, came here when I
okay.
was five.
Oh, okay.
And we're
Yeah,
East Flatbush, yeah.
And it's yeah, it's crazy because when you come here to this country, you're very Americanized, and
Yes.
you there's even a greater friction between you and your parents,
Yes,
because it's
because
like,
you're totally you it's you have the generational gap,
yep,
then you have the country
cultural,
gap as far as
yeah,
being Americanized, the
yeah,
cultural gap. So
hmm
you're dealing with a real like distance between the two. So it's
yeah,
like a big everything gets lost in translation. They just hard to understand
exactly.
each other, you
Yeah,
know?
my dad used to always remind me. He's like, "You're not American, we're
Mhm.
Haitian." Da, 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 da."
And
So
you
like,
like, but it's not where you from, it's where you at. And right now I gotta
yeah,
deal with what's in
yeah,
front of me. So
yeah.
it's a whole lot of things, you
Yeah,
had to
but
deal with
I'm yeah, I mean, and I guess the one thing, he didn't really realize or understand at that time was like, if you're growing up somewhere and you're absorbed in the culture,
yes.
it's like you're gonna end up being
You can't
reflecting
do
what
it. You're gonna be consumed
yeah, yeah,
by
exactly. Like
the
so.
forces around you. I mean, you go to school. You're in school most of the day.
Mhm.
You're interacting with your peers. You're looking to fit in because you're coming from a foreign place. So it's a whole lot of struggles that when you're dealing with when you're an immigrant and you're dealing with the cultural difference. So it's
Yeah,
a whole lot of
exactly.
things to deal with. So I
Yeah,
definitely
those.
had the same struggle and had to like, but mom, you don't understand. Don't understand nothing. You don't need to understand. Just do what
Yeah, I
I
know.
say.
Guyanese people are very conservative too. So it's like I
Yeah,
know.
I mean, the whole Caribbean is the same thing, and they
Yeah,
not understanding it, and they believe in the rods, don't spare the rod. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
definitely gonna get that fire. So anybody growing up could relate to those stories. That's what Major Hype does. I be following that Major Hype, and he does his skits. Everybody starts dying because it's one thing to be Jamaican, and it's one thing to be Jamaican American,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
other different it's journey. It's a similar journey, but
Yeah.
it's different because it's a whole other different forces you have to deal with. So,
Yeah.
we definitely
But
understand.
so I guess to continue my story about my how I got into comics. So like I said, I ended up becoming an IT consultant or working in the computer industry. I was started as a computer programmer and I was doing that for a while, but inside me, like I said, but I always had stories I wanted to bring out. And at one point, I'm going to tell you the long version of my origin story. So usually I don't include this in my origin story, but at one point I was still interested in writing and creating something. So I wanted to create a web series. So I wrote out a script for a web series that I wanted because at that time I was looking at YouTube and I was like, yo, YouTube is like the perfect platform for creating shows and whatnot. And so I wanted to do that. But then, at the time, I'm married and had two kids, and my wife was like complaining how that my time and money has been spent on this on creating a web series. So I kind of dropped that, and then a year later, I discovered that Kickstarter had a comic book section. So when I looked into it, I was like, oh, these people who are funding their comic book dreams are just like me, and it kind of reinvigorated that childhood dream I had about creating comic books. And so I thought it was kind of perfect because I was like, okay, this is not creating a web series, but it's still a visual platform. It's something that I loved when I was a kid, and I was like, so I looked into it. I did some research and trying to figure out what's the best way to get into indie comics. And once I felt like I had read enough, I just started producing as much as I can. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And from there,
Jumped in.
what's that?
So did your research and just jumped in.
I definitely wanted to do research before I jumped in, especially so what I did is at that time, this was around 2016 when I decided to do it. I didn't actually start until 2017, but like towards the end of 2016, it was like around, I guess, October, November, December. I was looking at Kickstarters, seeing how it's done. I was doing research, and then there was this one PDF by Spike. She's the president of Iron Circus Comics, and she was like really successful at Kickstarters. And she created this PDF, and it broke down like all the things that you need to take into consideration while you're doing a Kickstarter. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay, and that helped tremendously. And then on top of that, uh, I also, when I was doing my research, I discovered that a lot of the successful Kickstarters, they started off as free web comic books. They built a fan base, and then from there, they were able to launch a Kickstarter. And since they already had a fan base, they were able to fund their goals and be really successful. And so I figured like I'm gonna do the same thing. At first, it seems a little counterintuitive, right? Because um, you're you're sharing your comic book for free online,
Yeah.
right? People could read it. Why would they buy the physical medium? But it turns out that people really love holding the books in their hands, and that business model of launching, providing the comic book for free as a web comic, and then building the audience, and then launching a Kickstarter was perfect. It worked, and like I'm the type of person like I see what works, and I ain't trying to reinvent anything. So
Reinvent the
if I
wheel,
see yeah,
yeah.
if I see something that works, I learn from that, and then I do the same thing. So that's what I did, and I launched my first Kickstarter, and did the first book, and after that, it was just like it was uphill from there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Then the journey began.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So, my second question is Dream Fury. How do you come up with the name for the name of the company?
So it was a name that I had for a long time because I was like so this is probably gonna age me because like this reference is kind of old. So
Yeah,
I used
the
to watch the
references
honey
give away our age for sure.
yeah, I used to watch the Honeymooners, and
Big fan. I
yeah,
love it every year at New Year's when they used
mhm.
to have the marathon.
Oh yeah, 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 the marathons.
Man,
I forgot
I
about
love
that. And
that stuff, bro.
Ralph Crandon, right? How he
Yeah, he's
always had
from
these.
Brooklyn too, best
Yeah, yeah.
Bay
How he had
Area.
those he always had some like side business that he was always trying to start and things. So
Always
I was
trying
kind
to
of
get
like
rich. He always had a plan, bro.
I was kind of like that. I was like kind of Ralph
The
Cramden,
same
I
way.
was always trying to like start some business. And at one time when I was even before comic books, I forgot what business it was, and I was trying to come up with a name. Like I used to have a name called at first I used to call myself as a business Black Suns Rising, right? But then that was kind of that I found out that was taken. So I was trying to come up with a unique name for my business, and I came up with like I came up I don't even remember how I came up with the name, but I came up with Dream Fury, and it was like two words that kind of contradict itself, right? You have dream, you see, it's more serene, peaceful, thing, and then you have fury, which is fire and passion. And I thought, that's me perfectly. You know what I mean? I got that.
Okay,
I'm,
sums it up.
yeah, that sums it up. So I was like, and it feels like, so I was like, all right, cool. And so when I started going into comics, I had registered, that business name, and I was like trying to think of a different name. I was gonna go for something different. I wasn't gonna call it Dream Fury Comics, but at the time I was like, okay, you know what? Um, the business is already registered as Dream Fury, so let me just stick with Dream Fury Comics, and I started using that name. So I would eventually I just stuck, and I was like, so it was this Dream Fury Comics, and yeah, so I'm glad I kept the name. And
Nah, like I said, it just flows. But you said, like as you said, it sums it up. It's just two words that sums up who you were.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah.
um, so my next question, when I first came across your stuff, I seen Crescent City Monsters,
Mhm.
and then that was followed up by Keisha Demon Eater. So I always had that the feel of the horror from you. Is that intentional? Is that your the medium that you
Nah,
want
it
to
was
stay in, or was it just that you
it was
just started out doing horror and this is where you're at now?
yeah, it kind of started off like that.
Oh, okay.
Like most of the times when I'm watching TV, I watch horror, but I'm not like I
Mhm.
wouldn't say I was like a horror fan.
Yeah, I'm not a big
Um,
horror fan.
I'm just like I like horror, but I don't. It's not like most of when you look at most of the things I watch, it's usually I guess genre rise. It would be mostly like action movies.
Hmm.
But the reason why I kind of like got into that, how I got into it um, was I was a big fan of Robert Kirkman's Walking Dead. I loved that
Okay.
book, and so like I was a fan of the series before the TV series came out,
Mm.
and I was reading this book, and I was just blown away by the way Robert Kirkman wrote the characters and his stories. And I was like, and then I started reading a little bit more about Robert Kirkman, and I was like, yo, this dude is crazy. Like, so I was like, especially like how he pitched the idea of The Walking Dead. He told his editors like, oh yeah, because his editors was like, oh, this is a zombie story. He's like, nah, zombie stories don't sell. You should do something else. But he still wanted to do a zombie story, so he lied to his editor and told him, no, no, in a few issues, it's going to start off as a zombie story, but it's going to turn into some like alien story. And he lied to his editor, and they kept going, and it was by the time the editor realized that it was a zombie story, it was
It's just
already
a
too late.
zombie.
Yeah, yeah. The book was popular.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah, yeah. So I was
That's
like, yo,
hilarious. I didn't know
yeah, so I was
that.
like, damn. I was like, yo, this dude has a lot of cojones, and I was like, I was like, yo, you know what? I wanna create my own zombie story. So I came up with Crescent City Monsters, which
Yeah, I
essentially was
mean, the first thing caught me with the visual, Giancarlo Bernal. Like, I don't know if that's his medium too or his space, but man, his grayscale works so well with your title and R as a medium was just amazing. I never liked manga for that reason. It never really attracted me because I'm a color guy. It was always like that. That's what first drew me into comic books when I fell in love with X-Men and stuff like that. So,
mm,
but when I seen his usage of grayscale, it made me totally rethink. Like, wow, I never seen it like this. Like, and then the
yeah,
detail within it. So your presentation of what you was doing, along with his art, it was definitely a hit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Shout out to my artist Giancarlo Bernal. He's based in the Philippines, and as like you're saying, he's a beast. And it turns out that he loves drawing monsters. That's like the thing
That's
that
what, yeah, it
yeah,
seems
yeah.
seems like
So,
that's his thing, yeah. I was
yeah,
like,
that
man, if I ever do anything with a horror, I gotta hit this guy up because the
yeah.
grayscale just draws you in. You want to know what's going on.
Yeah, the great thing about working with Gian too is he inspires me as I'm writing because his artwork is so dope. Like every time sends me a bunch of pages,
You
I'm
get
like, yo,
inspirational with you. That's how my process is. That's why I
yeah,
like to get the visuals coming in
yeah,
while I'm
yeah,
finishing
yeah,
up the script in case I want to make any changes. Like,
yeah. So yeah, and it helps. So like, and then
yeah,
on the flip side, he's expressed how he's a fan of my writing too.
okay.
Sometimes like I used to send him like scripts like bits at a time, not the whole thing at one time. So he'd be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, what's gonna happen next?" He used to ask me questions. So yeah, he
That's
and I have
good.
like the synergy when it comes to storytelling, and that's one of the great things about creating comic books is the collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Creating a story and then seeing your vision implemented
Unfold
through
like that,
visually, yeah, through like
piece
another
by
person.
piece.
Yeah,
Amazing. It's like a psychological connection. The artist
yeah,
knows
yeah,
instantaneously what it is you're trying to like convey. Then you like I guess the youth will call it like you in that you in that zone. You
yeah,
in the
yeah,
zone.
yeah,
You got that aura. You know what I'm saying to you. So you're in that flow state basically. You're like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
oh yeah, you see
exactly.
what I'm saying? Yeah, I see exactly what you mean. And then he send you back the sketches, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Matter
His,
of fact,
his,
that's better than what I was thinking.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot
That's
of
when it
times it
gets
is.
great.
In
Yeah.
fact, he's the one who kind of like is so like with Keisha Demon Eater, like so it was the black and white book that came out first, right?
Yes.
Um, and then we came out with the color. The color has, so the black and white has the color accents, right? And in the
Mm.
script I wrote, Keisha, wakes up. She's late for her training at her dojo, so she's running and she's wearing her sweatsuit. And he came back and he highlighted her suit in yellow. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my
Ooh, I would have
gosh,
been blown
yeah.
away.
So I was
I could
like,
imagine the happiness on your face, like,
yeah. I was like, yo,
woo!
that's a dope idea. I love this so much that
Yeah.
when we did the color one, I was like, nah, I gotta put
Got to
the
highlight
yellow in
that.
the
It
suit.
just
So
pops on another level. So you're like,
yeah,
what?
yeah. So I did that. So shout out to Gene again. Like that's the great thing
Yeah.
about comic books is that collaborative effort.
Yes,
Their things. So, and you can't talk about Crescent City Monsters or Keisha Demon Eater without talking about G and Carlo Bernal. So
definitely,
shout out to my
definitely.
artists.
And that's how I came too. I was looking on. I went to Upwork because I couldn't find anyone who did sequential art when I started in 2020. That's before I even got onto Instagram. And my first artist was from the Philippines too.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Kiko Salipande, he's responsible for Race Issue 1.
Mm.
And then when I started meeting artists and sending them my pages because I needed it to be colored, they were like, yo, man, this artist is very good. What's his name? He has a great understanding of anatomy. And I was like, man, I didn't know nothing from nothing. I just basically put a wanted ad out because I don't even know how to, the sites work, the freelance sites. I know now, I'm very schooled, but, before I was like, hey, man, guy looking to start his dream. Send me what you could do. And that was one of the first guys. Like, I guess God got his journey for you. And then I hired him, and then I ended up telling him, like, listen, man, I don't know nothing. I'm a blank sheet of paper. I'm a fan trying to make the ideas that I had as a child come to life.
Mm.
And he said, this is what he do for a living. He doesn't basically have another job. And I became his student, even though I hired him. So I told him, feel free to lead me, and I will definitely give you a bonus for all the extra knowledge because I'm a student and I'm not trying to order you around like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
because of that humility that I showed, he ended up just teaching me everything. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow.
Yeah, about this is what you do. Don't
Mm.
crowd your pages with too many panels
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
gotta let it flow. You
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
look at the size of your panels. The
Hmm.
size of your panels is the pacing. He just went on and on. He was just going the artist. I mean the whose name comes first? The writer's name. Whose name comes first? The writer and then the
Oh,
artist. Just
yeah,
little things that
yeah,
I wouldn't even have thought to look for. I was
yeah,
just a
yeah,
guy shooting my shot, seeing if I could put together my first comic book. And
yeah,
the
yeah.
Lord just led me in the right way. He shouted it out, and He led me to that guy. I'm still in contact with him now, and he
That's
was from
good,
the
man.
Philippines. Yep. I
That's
couldn't
good.
find
Yeah.
anyone out here that did sequential art. He did everything. Colors, inks. I didn't even know you had to go to different people for all the stuff. Because he
Oh,
did the paddles, these pencils. He's like, you like it? Well, we locked in the pencils. He's like, all right, go in the inking stage now. We went to inking stage, send me back the inks. Okay, going into the colors, choose what colors you want. Okay, I'm going to render the colors now. That means you can't change the colors. Oh, okay, well, the color, the render. So we did that. Then okay, we're going to the cover. Went to the cover. I was like, all right, yep, just let me through the whole process because
did he
obviously
do the
to him it
lettering
was
too?
nothing. Yeah, he was just been doing it for so long. He
Oh,
did
okay.
everything.
Hmm.
So I didn't even know that you would have 4 or 5 people on your book. I thought it was just me and the other guy.
Nah, nah, yeah. It's like a
And then
whole squad.
when I got on Instagram, I really started to learn the process and stuff. So as we go into the world of Crescent City Monsters, could you give us a brief summary of what that title is about?
Yeah. So with Crescent City Monsters, it follows Jonas. Let me show everybody the cover.
Yes, please
So
do.
yeah. So this is the trade. The trade collects issues 1 through 4. So with Crescent
Mm,
City Monsters, it follows Jonas. He's a blues musician, but he's also a sorcerer deep seated in that New Orleans supernatural world. And someone in that supernatural world puts a bounty on his head. He doesn't know who or why, and he's trying to figure that out. So while he tries to unravel that mystery, the monsters of New Orleans are after him because of that bounty. So yeah, that's the pitch. And what I like to compare the movie to is like three things, right? Sinners, the movie, Lovecraft Country, the TV series, and Blade, the movie. If all three of them had a
Okay.
baby, it would be Crescent City Monsters because it's got the
The
Southern Gothic
fusion of those. Okay.
feel. Yeah, it's got the Southern Gothic feel of Lovecraft. No, Sinners. Right. It's got the Southern Gothic feel of Sinners, and it's
I'll be right
got
back.
the
Hold on.
yeah, sure. Actually, I'll still keep talking. So it's got the Southern Gothic feel of Sinners, and it's got the uh, action of Blade, and it's got the supernatural lore of Lovecraft Country. So yeah, this is the trade collects issues 1 through 4, and take a quick look through the book here, so you guys can see it. So this is the incredible artwork from my artist Giancarlo Bernal.
Right. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, so that's
And I just wanted to show the people. Wait, hold up.
oh, you wanted to share your copy of the book?
Yeah, I like when let them know that No, sorry. Give me a second, guys. Still getting used to this. Yes, guys. So I just want y'all to know I'm all talk. This we started in 2020. I definitely didn't miss that Kickstarter. And anytime there's a Kickstarter with Dream Fury Comics, you guys really want to get your stuff. Check this out right here. I always held on to this because this was an inspiration when I was coming out. Because this was the first Kickstarter that gave me something that I was really, really
Oh,
amazed and
okay.
shocked by. So I had the whole
Box.
box set. So he has the box set right here. And I got all the trades just to let y'all know that I don't be playing around. I
Oh,
seen
okay.
this. I
Dope,
seen
dope,
the
dope.
art. I seen the story. I was like, yo, listen, I have to get this. Check it out, guys.
Dope. Yeah,
I
appreciate
ain't
that.
playing around with none of y'all because I got all of the covers. Y'all playing with yourself. Play with your mama. Crescent City Monsters, Dream Fury Comics.
There
And
you
I told
go.
y'all I wasn't a fan when I told y'all I was promoting this tonight because
Oh, there
this
you go. Yeah.
indie comics doing big things. My man Newton Lillevoir, Giancarlo Bernal. I am the walking promotional ad. I even got the hardcover. I ain't
Oh,
even
you
do
got
none
the
of my
hardcover.
hardcovers yet.
Okay.
This is what it is to say that you're inspired by your peers and the guys that you're dealing with so you could step your game up. Look at this beautiful hardcover right here. This is beautiful. Na 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 to everybody out there. Na 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 na. Check it out. When it blows, because I'm telling you right now, I manifest and I believe in manifestation. This will be a big IP. It will be on your TV screens. It will be on your Netflixes and whatever your streaming platform. It will be in the movie theater, and I will have the first look at it. This will be, and it's gonna be. I'm gonna sell this back to you guys for like 100,000 because you don't have it. Okay, so sorry, guys. I just really had to. I'm gonna
No,
go
no,
back
no.
right now. Sorry,
That was good,
bro.
man. I almost that's that the East Flatbush in me almost came out. I was gonna be like, "Bo,
Yeah,
bo, bo, bo."
yo, bro, Liga. And we share the same background. East Flatbush, Brooklyn, got started. These is one of them stories, guys. So anybody out there watching, we're gonna be putting this on Spotify, on YouTube, and we're gonna be putting this on all platforms. Check out Dream Fury Comics. I'm just letting y'all know.
Yep,
So
yep.
take us to a brief summary now of Keisha Demon Eater
Oh
because that
yeah,
was a
so
striking imagery that came along with that
yeah,
title
so
too.
this is Keisha Demon Eater. This is the full
Yes,
color
I gotta
version,
get my hands on that.
the black and white version with the color accents, which make it
Hmm.
really dope. So with Keisha Demon Eater, we Keisha's out with her friends, and they accidentally get Keisha accidentally gets possessed by a demon, and a demon hunter comes after her. Keisha barely survives that encounter, so her family sends her to an aunt who has supernatural powers and can exorcise demons, get it out. So Keisha has to go from New Orleans to Kansas to her aunt's town. But when she gets to her aunt's town in Kansas, she sees that it's full of monsters and that she actually needs the demon inside her to stay alive. So the very thing she's trying to get rid of is the thing that's going to help her survive. So that's Keisha Demon Eater. right there.
Yo, people, do not miss out on these titles. When we are done, I will tag him in the bio. In the comments. Dream Fury Comics. Click the link in the bio. It's gonna shoot you to the website. You guys can still purchase it. It's not like y'all missed it and can't get these books. They are still for sale. It's just that when you get certain tier levels or certain Kickstarters, sometimes Kickstarters have covers that are not sold. That's why I like to do that as an option because it
Yeah,
gives you a real incentive to make sure you back the Kickstarter. And these are the great, cool stuff that you get for future IPs, you know what I'm saying, that are going to blow up. And just for you to just genuinely, enjoy a good story with great artwork, because like I tell all the people, the artwork definitely matters because without it, it would just be a novel. You know what I'm saying?
that's right.
And give us a little summary on Shadow. I see you also have a graphic novel Shadow.
Yeah, let me see if I got a copy of Shadow lying around here. So yeah, this is a sci-fi book created with TJ Sterling of Ray Comics. Shout out to
Yes,
TJ.
that's my guy. Shout out TJ Sterling, always doing
So
big things.
with this book, this one's more of a cyberpunk sci-fi book. So it follows Shatter, the world's most
Mm,
notorious wanted man, and he's out to destroy the system in any way possible. You know, if you're a fan of Demolition Man,
yes.
this
I
will
like
this is
those.
definitely yeah, this is definitely up your alley.
Okay, so you got that futuristic, the
Yeah.
rebel against the system.
Yeah, this particular cover is like an homage to that Spider-Man,
That's a
that
beautiful
McFarlane
cover.
Spider-Man
Who's
cover.
the
Yeah.
artist on that cover?
Oh, this is Sean Damian Hill.
Oh, shout out
Yeah,
to Sean Damon. He's the man,
yeah,
bro. That's
yeah,
why
he
it
is.
stood out like that. I love his line work, bro.
Yeah, yeah. He's an
Definitely a
amazing
banger.
artist.
Yes, he is, man. He's upcoming. We're gonna see a whole lot of him.
Yeah,
Um,
he's the one who did, I think, yeah, I don't think, but I know he did the X-Men Bishop
yes,
War School,
War College. Yeah,
War College
hmm,
book. Yeah, really good
definitely.
artist. Yeah.
Um, what would you say is the best and worst part of comic creation?
The best part, man, there's so many good parts to it. Because you know, just the feedback that you get from other people when they read your story and they can connect to it.
Mm,
I think that's the best part of it, you know, because when you're sharing your story, you're kind of like you're exposing yourself because this is something that you're sharing with the world. Now it's up for criticism, right? Like,
hmm.
you know, people can, you know, shit on your book if you if you
Yeah.
want to, you know, and or they could say, you know, this is garbage or whatever. So you kind of open up right there in terms of that. But you know, the reaction I've got is like nothing that I would ever dream of. People just really love the book, and so the fact that there's so many people can connect to the story is like the best part. The worst part is, I guess, I was talking about this earlier today, is trying to find an artist. That's the hard part because, you know, there's a lot of good artists there most of the time out there. Most of the times they're taken or busy, and when they are
Okay.
available,
The limited time frame, and are you
yeah,
ready?
and the thing too is in finding that particular artist, because there's a lot of good artists out there who can draw, but sometimes you're always looking for a particular style. You have
Yeah, you want to know
story.
if it matches your vision because I
Yeah,
think in pictures because I deal with comic books for so long and that's the medium I'm in, and I really, really have a vision and a feeling of the story, and the art got to match that vision and that feeling, and you can't force an artist to do a style. You have to meet him
yeah,
where he's at and say, "Oh, look at this artist's style. It fits the vision that I was looking for." That's the
yeah,
mind frame you have to have. You can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna get an artist and make him match this vision." It's not gonna work that way, you know.
yeah, exactly. And then I like to ask artists like what do they like to draw? You know, like do they
Hmm.
like to draw, you know, horror, sci-fi? Because
Yeah, what they
and a lot
look
of
like.
artists, you know, they'll say I draw everything, I can draw anything, but
Yeah,
to be
because they're just
honest,
to get the job type
yeah,
of thing, where it's like,
Yeah, but to
Yeah,
be
it's like an
honest,
interview. Like, listen, I don't need you to lie to me, and
yeah,
I'm not mad if you don't do a particular thing. I
yeah,
just need you to be honest to see if you really fit this project. You know.
yeah. Because like sometimes I see an artist and I like reach out to them and see if I could work with them. And I might not even have a story. I'm just like,
Mm.
yo, I'm like, damn, this artwork is so good. It's like, I'll come up with the story. Just tell me what you like to draw.
There is
Tell me what
people
your
that
strong
good.
point
Like, yeah,
is.
like, just give me a second.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, just give me a second. I'll come up with something because
Yeah.
like some artists, like their art style is so dope that I'm like, yo,
We're gonna
would
fit
you?
you in.
Yeah, they're like, it's like, what genre do you like to draw? If
Hmm.
any draw genre, you let me know. I'll write a story for that.
That's the genre we
Yeah,
going
yeah. But so yeah, and yeah,
talent definitely does matter. There's levels to this. I guess we can say that.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
levels to
yeah,
this for sure. So yeah, definitely. You definitely got to study your craft. There's levels to, but then again, it really is the project because someone may be that good or that like what's the word I'm looking for, like
yeah. Talented.
industry acceptable, like
Oh, okay.
the cert whatever the comic book style is at the time, but the project you have is not with going in that direction. It's left field, so you might have to go with a visually a visually left field looking artist where they're into their own thing. So it's definitely what you're looking for and the feeling you're trying to give. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying
yep.
to you? Any advice for anybody just aspiring, trying to jump out the gate, like how you did?
Any advice? I would say, just do your research, look at the fellow comic book creators, see what they're doing, how they're handling things. Don't be afraid to reach out to people and ask them questions because everybody, well, I should say not everybody, but most folks in the in the comic book field are really good folks. They'll answer your questions, yeah, I think that's the best advice I could give somebody. Just keep asking questions of people who are already doing it. And even when you're starting, there's still things that you might not know. So don't be afraid to ask advice. Just be open to some criticism too. Like, if somebody gives you some critique about your book, just be open to that too, so you can improve. Yeah, that's the biggest advice for people who starting off. For me.
And my quick advice would also be when y'all get into this, you're artists and you're creators, and we tend to be sensitive. But anytime you put out a project and you say, "Hey, this project is done and it's not for sale," and you're promoting it and you're doing whatever, you're up for critique. You have to open
Yeah,
yourself, prepare yourself before you launch it, and learn to have emotional control. You know what I'm saying? If people don't like it, they don't like it. And if there's certain things on whatever commentary you agree on, you go ahead and fix it and just make your next project better than your last, and never make it a competition with anybody else. You know what I'm saying to you? And you do that and you'll have a great journey. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just looking to make things better than your last project. You know what I'm saying? And that
yeah,
from that way, if you have 10, 12 projects, you'll be able to see the progression and the growth through each project. You know what I'm saying? And that's
exactly.
basically how you're supposed to measure yourself in anything that you do in life. And you make things a mission and not a competition. And then you don't have to worry about critique like that. It won't affect you as much. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to prepare yourself that this is what you're going into the game to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would definitely put that in. So I like to end up all my interviews with a little this or that game. It's no right or wrong answer. It's just two things we put up against each other. You choose this or that. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
we started off with Sega or Nintendo.
Um, Man, that's hard. So personally, I've never had a Sega, but I used to
Okay.
go to my friend's house and play the Sega. Segas were bad back in the days, man. They had some of the dopest games.
Sonic, yeah. They had some things, man. I was a
Um,
Nintendo baby.
yeah.
I remember
That
going to
that.
buy it like yesterday.
So
I
I'm going
remember
back.
going to purchase it.
So I'm when you ask me that question, I'm thinking more of like '90. You know what I mean? Where
We go in
and
there.
Sega was serious back then, so it wasn't like it was.
I'll be 49
But
this year. I remember my mom walking me to the junction and going inside the store and buying it and the smile on my face. And I played it till I got Nintendo finger and my thumbs used to hurt. I
yeah,
used to leave it on pause and go to school, come back and unpause
but
it.
I might go with I think I'm gonna go with Nintendo because they've did that the longevity. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just the memories, just the fond memories.
Yeah, and the fact that they not only that they survive so long, but they try to do different things. They do things differently, and I'm a big fan of people who just like do things differently. They take chances. So
Yeah,
with
they walk their
Nintendo,
own path.
you
They
know,
never left the game.
yeah, they created the Wii. That was different. So
hmm They put
they, you know,
themselves out there.
yeah, yeah,
They were all in this video game thing.
oh yeah,
Xbox or PlayStation.
man,
And
that was
it
easy.
gets worse, man. You
No, that
know,
one's
no
easy. That
wrong
one.
answers, but
So, I'm going with PlayStation.
yeah, that's
So
me.
I have an Xbox, but I'm like I'm just so pissed that I got the Xbox 'cause I'm such a PlayStation guy that I
Yeah,
don't
good
I
go with
love
that.
the PlayStation joystick. I just I
I
and
love
back in the
everything
days,
about PlayStation.
yeah, back in the days, I had the PlayStation 2. I was a big Tekken fan. Oh man, I used to
Second,
go in on
to play.
Tekken.
Me too,
Yeah,
right? I go
so
crazy.
PlayStation, and so PlayStation was my thing. But then I was talking to my
Ratchet and
homeboy.
Clank.
Yeah, I was talking to my homeboy, and I was like, yo, maybe I should. He had an Xbox, and I was thinking like, yo, how you like your Xbox? And dude kind of sold me on it, but nah, I shouldn't have listened to him, man. I should have stuck with my PlayStation, man. Um, but yeah, I might get the PlayStation. But you know what it is? I video games, man. I spent when I was playing video games, I spent too many hours on it. And like,
That's why I didn't pick it back up because I have so many other things to do. I don't have
yeah,
room for that addiction right
yeah.
now.
And I know once I start, I can't play like a video game for like 30,
No,
40
I'm an
minutes and put it
I
down.
have an OCD type of
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
personality. Like that's why I had to beat my Super Mario Brothers, and it didn't matter how many fingers I broke. Like I
yeah,
have to
yeah.
win.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna get the new PlayStation. I'm just gonna like,
I don't have room. I told you I don't have room for that addiction. Only so many I can take.
yeah. And then
Right now, I'm addicted to comic books at the moment. Let me just live with
And then
that.
I saw the cost of the games. I was like, what? So I'm like, these
Yeah,
games
I'm
are
like, yeah, I
expensive.
can't. Don't have no room for that. And I know my obsessive disorder is gonna make me want to beat everything.
But
Like,
yeah,
so
but
Marvel
definitely,
or
but I'm
DC?
definitely a PlayStation guy though.
PlayStation, Marvel or DC?
Man, I grew up a Marvel zombie. Like I said earlier, like my classmates who kind of put me onto the game of comics. Like, so
Hmm.
like I remember like one of them, Curtis, one of my classmates, Curtis. He like was showing me one of his comic books, and I took it and I started reading, and I was like this. He said, "Yo, yo, yo, what are you doing?" So you gotta hold it by the spine and turn
Yeah,
it this
yeah.
way,
He
you
said
know.
he.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I was like doing that, and he was like, "Yo, whatever you do, make sure you buy Marvel comics. DC is corny. They got corny comics. Marvel's got it all." And so I was like, "All
He
right."
skewed your whole
Yeah, and I just
thinking.
like for the most part, I don't. I kind of a little bit regret it a little bit, but the one I gotta say, the one artist from DC that I always regretted that I wished when I used to see George Perez artwork on Teen Titans, I used to be
Mhm.
like, damn, I want to get that. Like that was the only DC book like that I was like,
It'll
man,
draw you in, the
yeah,
art.
that drew me in. And that and Dark Knight too, of course. That goes
Mhm.
without saying. But
Yeah, Batman's strong.
but yeah, yeah, I was always a Marvel head. And people ask me, oh, what was your favorite Marvel superhero? Man, I can't tell you. I just liked everything. Like,
The whole universe.
yeah, I can't. I was such, and I was at
Mhm.
that time. I was such a superhero guy. Like only like superhero comic books. Anything that wasn't superhero, I just thought it was kind of strange. So like people be like, oh, I read V for Vendetta when it came out. I saw it when it came out. I was like, this is kind of weird. I was like, I wasn't into it.
Yeah, it had to
Books
be
like Swamp Thing, I
the
was like,
original blueprint. They didn't you didn't want any variation.
yeah. And even things like Swamp Thing, I wasn't really into because it wasn't like really a superhero comic book. So
Nah,
I was like
nah, that
strictly
was like a
superhero. But
yeah.
now it's flipped.
Hmm.
I don't read a lot of superhero comic books. I rarely do. I like I'm a big indie person, of course. I like reading indie comics, and most of the comic books I read are like non-superhero comic books. So I kind of like that like for some reason I don't know why it's like it's just like I can't get into it as much as I used to. But I like what they're doing with like Absolute Batman and
Yeah,
some of
but
the
they just
Absolute books.
revamped everything. They definitely brought the excitement, injected a whole new
Yeah.
excitement to the
So
character.
I like those. But like I said, for the most part, most of the times I really mostly enjoy non-superhero comic books.
Mhm.
And
So
I write non-superhero comic books.
that's where you started off. It's crazy how it gets flipped, but you know, you grow up, your taste change, your
Yeah,
interests
yeah, yeah,
change, but your imagination stays the same. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's what it
yeah,
is. Marvel and these superheroes just open our brains to the possibilities of what could be or the story that we could tell. So
yeah.
now we fuse that with our life experiences, and then we get we all into whole new different genres.
Exactly.
So we got Avengers or X-Men.
Man, this one's hard. I like the Chris Claremont X-Men. That was like my favorite run on the X-Men like ever. Uh, but the Avengers, I always liked the Avengers. The Avengers were like that was my team. Man, it's kind of hard.
Remember, there's no
Also,
wrong answers, just the
no,
preference.
because I'm trying to like. I even like the Fantastic Four. Like that was a really good team too. Man, I guess I'm gonna have to go. Damn. When I was a kid, I liked. I think I would have to say the Avengers. That was my joint. I guess no. Damn, that Chris Claremont run on.
Hey,
When I was
really going back and forth.
was really good.
I see the debate in your head, like, but on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other hand,
yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll go with the Avengers for now. Yeah.
Avengers, all right, no doubt. Thanos or Darkseid?
So I wasn't really a DC person.
Hmm.
Um,
Me
so
neither, but I choose Darkseid over there because the
yeah.
DC that I did see, Darkseid is you got a little
Well,
swag there, man. I
yeah.
like the
I was
swag.
about to say that. Like, in
I
terms of
like
like
his swag. I
visually,
like his laser beam. You see that fucking following laser beam
yeah,
is just
yeah.
illmatic.
Yeah,
The
I'm
heat
not
seeking
like I said,
laser
I'm not a DC
beam.
person. I don't really know a
Yeah,
lot about Darkseid, but from what I've seen, Darkseid looks ill. So
definitely.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
have to go.
there's a lot of similarities between the two, but I like
Yeah,
Darkseid swag, even though I'm a Marvel guy.
yeah, yeah.
So, manga or comic books
Um,
or
Man,
American comic.
technically mangas are comic books, but
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, like
Jamaican, Japanese manga,
or like
or
American comics, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
or American comic books,
yeah.
format.
I would say, uh, I have to go with American comics because that's what I
That's the
grew up on.
medium you'd be in. So we
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
understand that.
yeah.
Frosted Flakes or cornflakes?
I'd probably go with cornflakes.
When I was young, I would have told Frosted Flakes that I'm old and I could taste the extra salt and everything, the extra sugar and everything.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
definitely gotta go cornflakes, which
yeah, yeah,
allows
yeah,
me as an old man to put what I want on top of it.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
maybe some strawberries or some bananas. Allow me to put some sugar. Don't put sugar on it.
yeah,
Don't
yeah. I
come
think.
frosted already.
Well, that was the thing for me with cornflakes. I didn't like the sugar that was left behind in the milk. I'd
Oh,
rather the
okay,
sugar
okay.
stay on my cereal.
Oh, you think
You know?
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I said it's a preference thing. What are you, a frosted flakes?
No cornflakes.
Cornflakes guy. All
Yeah.
right. So French toast or pancakes?
Oh man, I'm a French toast guy for
Love
sure.
French
Yeah.
toast. Pepsi or Coke?
I'm a Pepsi guy, man. Pepsi all the way. It's like I can taste the difference too, man. Like
Well, some people say it, and some people don't really care. They say
yeah.
it's too similar to even
Well,
try it.
yeah, Pepsi is a little sweeter. That's why I like
Mm,
it.
makes sense. Batman or Superman?
Batman.
That's the guy with anything's possible with prep time.
Yeah.
Biggie or Pac?
Oh man. I would say I would say man, as a person like Pac, as a lyricist, I guess I would have to go with Biggie.
Yeah, if I want to get introspective, it's definitely Pac. If I just want to rock the crowd, it's definitely Big. And I'm from Brooklyn, so it's another
Yeah, yeah,
little
yeah.
bias there.
Yeah.
Thundercats or Transformers?
Oh, damn.
That's my Saturday mornings and shit.
Yeah, Thundercats or Transformers. I would have to go with oh um I gotta go with Transformers because it had that dope ass movie. Like when that
The movie
Transformers movie
when
came
Prime
out,
died?
yeah, when Prime died, man,
Oh, I
that was like
cried, dude.
that was like that was like one of the best animated movies
Oh
of that
man, what a
time.
tearjerker.
Yeah,
And
and then
Prime was just such a noble character filled with integrity, and the voice matched
yeah, yeah, yeah.
who
And
he
plus
was as a
they had
person.
a ton of different characters. So like
Yeah.
in terms of like between GI Joe and Transformers, you had like a ton of different characters.
Yeah.
So
But Transformers had a lot of pronounced character personalities like Starscream and
yeah,
Soundwave, Rumble,
yeah,
Eject,
Bumblebee, yeah,
Ravage,
Reject,
Eject. The cool factor of both of them is really through the roof. It's just
yeah,
two
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
very cool cartoons. I aspire for Saturday morning. Really make me feel warm and tingly inside because that was truly my time. That was what an era. Now that it's over, you could have hindsight 2020 to be like big bowls of cereal and successive cartoons from 6 to 12 was really a
Oh
time
man,
in
yo,
history.
yeah. Nah,
We need to
I
get
realized
back.
at that time that was the life right there.
Living through the life, like I never want to leave this with,
Mhm.
with pajamas with the footies on it. Oh, what a time to be alive. Hold on a minute. All right. So we're gonna run through these last questions. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Um, damn, that's another hard one too. Um, man, I'm gonna have to go with Star Trek.
All right. Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan or LeBron. Um, I'm gonna go with LeBron because I just like LeBron as a person. You know what I mean?
Ferrari or Lamborghini? Nothing wrong with that.
Mm. What was that?
Ferrari? Yeah, Ferrari or Lamborghini?
Um, I'd go with Lamborghini.
Lamborghini. I'm a Ferrari guy. Let's see. Beer or wine?
Uh, man, I definitely not beer because and beer gives me like a gut.
The gas,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not really for that, so I'm gonna go with
Trying to
wine.
get the old man beer. So
Yeah.
Joker or Lex Luthor?
Um, I would say Lex Luthor, just because as a villain he makes more sense. Like,
Intelligence. Yep.
yeah.
Jay Z or Nas? That's the last one there.
Oh wow. You know,
It's a New Yorker thing.
yeah. You know what it is about? So Jay-Z, he's a good lyricist, but the one reason why I couldn't really ever really get too excited about Jay-Z is like when he rhymes, he plays it too cool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes he just like he spits his bar like real try like smooth and whatever. Even when he shows emotion, it's not like that. Ah, you
No,
know what I
it's
mean?
cool emotion. He
Yeah,
never
yeah,
breaks his
yeah.
character.
Yeah, so
He
I'm like,
doesn't put himself out there like that. Some people choose not to. They don't want to be hurt. They don't put themselves out like that. It's that trauma response thing.
yeah, I think the most emotion I've ever seen him rap is when he did the Monster joint with Kanye West and Nicki Minaj.
Mm.
Um, that's the most I've ever seen him get, you
Yeah,
know.
Nas definitely puts himself out there more.
But yeah, yeah, Nas, I feel a little bit more of that emotion
Yeah,
when Nas
hundred
raps.
percent.
Jay-Z, I feel, I appreciate his lyrics, but like I said, like the emotion coming out of him. That's why I
Nah,
like,
he's a guarded individual. You definitely know
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
He
You can
says
tell,
that too. He says that a lot.
yeah, because
And he's around.
he be spitting, but it's like,
He's not letting you all the way in.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But thank you for joining. I'm very glad to have the podcast back. I'm glad to have you here. Anybody that's listening out there in the comment section, go to Dream Fury Comics. They have Shadow, we have Crescent City Monsters, we have Keisha Demon Eater, and check out the website, the art. Anything else you want to share? Anything you got coming up? What's the next show you're gonna be at?
The next con I'm gonna do is DreamCon in Houston.
Okay.
I was there
DreamCon,
last.
yeah, that's a good one. I gotta
Oh
get
yeah,
there.
I was there last year, and I had a really good time. And
It looks
so,
like a good time. That's definitely on my list. Plus, I had to go to Houston anyway. I got some friends that just moved out there. So
oh
we
okay,
make it a
yeah,
2-in-1 visit
yeah, perfect reason to go out there. Yeah,
for
so
sure.
that's what I'm doing. They sent out the applications for New York Comic Con, so I'm gonna go apply for
Okay.
that. Hopefully, I get in this year.
Definitely. I don't know why they haven't when they seen these titles and what you bring to the table. So you
Yeah,
definitely
I've
need
tabled at New York Comic Con before, but
Okay,
they do
cool.
like they like so I tabled the year once COVID started, kind of like they started easing up on COVID.
All the
I
restrictions.
tabled that year when they opened up. The following year they didn't accept my application, but then the year after that they did. But last year they didn't. So it's like every other year they
It's like a
accepted my application.
lottery shoot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I saw the guy who's in charge of uh, the tables and assigning the tables when I was there at New York Comic Con. I was like, "Yo, what does it take to get in here, man?"
It's
And
like how
I was
y'all
made
feel
sure.
that year.
Yeah, I was like, made sure he remembered my face and my name. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
definitely put it in, put it in your
hopefully
ring.
this year.
I'd have been all in his face too.
Yeah, I was like, "What's your name again?" I was like, "Newton from Dream Fury Comics." And he's like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay."
I'm gonna give him a free T-shirt or
Yeah,
something,
that's what I should have done. I should have
so
thrown
you
him a
don't forget the day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
All right, guys. So that's the end of episode 6. Dream Fury Comics, Newton Little Raw, Bristol Media Group, Indie Creators Assemble. Everybody have a blessed night. Bristol Media Group, where imagination lives. Join us in our journey to tell amazing stories. Newton, Dream Fury Comics, we out here. Have a blessed night, my brother.
peace, y'all.